So here's something. I was listening to The Basement Yard, and it's a podcast that I really love. And everyone go listen to The Basement Yard. And they were talking about why is it that Goofy can talk, but Pluto cannot? And I'm like, trying to think about this, because I'm like, they had some dumb answer that I don't remember, but I'm like, listen, I think I figured it out. It's because out of all the Disney characters, right, Goofy has a child. So that means, and Pluto doesn't, obviously. So that means Pluto needs some puss. That's essentially what I'm saying. Can we get like just anyone for Pluto, please, so he can walk and talk like Goofy? Because he shouldn't have to be reduced to a pet because he don't have sex, because he doesn't have a family. Mickey Mouse is evil as shit,
So what you're saying is that because Pluto has never gotten his dick wet, he can't talk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Welcome back to the Gemini Archives, everyone.
Welcome back.
Dude, I swear, I thought about that when I was a kid, because I noticed that, and I'm like, why does Pluto act like, like a regular, like, dog, like a pet, like walks on all fours and things like that. And then Goofy, unless he's not full dog and part something else.
I don't know. Maybe he's got that magic juice that Mickey and Minnie and Donald have, that make them walk and talk.
The juice?
I guess. What would make someone walk and talk? A juice, a pill, a shot,
a brain?
If I only had a brain. Anyway.
No, it's a good point.
I hate to admit how long I actually thought about this yesterday, but it was way longer than you would think. And
Lauren,
can anyone just like back me up and like tell me I'm not crazy? Because I feel like if Pluto just hit some ass, like he would be able to walk and talk and wear a suit or whatever,
Specifically a suit?
Specifically, yeah. Like he would be intelligent if he was able to get some puss.
I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Sorry.
Everything, it's like my whole childhood just got flipped upside down in like 2 seconds. It's like, wait, what?
It's just like, what does Disney have against Pluto that, he has to be a pet? He can't be free. Because he's never gotten laid.
And to think of all the pets, too, Mickey could have had. He could have had a hamster. He could have had, like, something different. Like something other than a dog. And they gave him a dog when there's already another dog that exists in the Disney universe. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I know. Whose fucking idea was that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You know what? I'm going to go work at Disney. I'm going to infiltrate the system and then I'll come back with answers.
Perfect. That'll make you feel a lot better because, goddamn, that is just like...
Yeah, but honestly, though, like, I would love to work at Disney. Like, just, I don't know, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, with the people that, like, do caricatures all day. Like, they just draw cartoon characters for people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's my dream job. Just to sit and draw all fucking day and just, like, draw cartoons specifically and just give them to people. Like, yes, please.
That would be sick, actually.
I fucking want that job so bad. I don't remember that.
To live in Florida or California, so.
Well, I guess I'm moving.
Yeah.
But I don't remember that from when we were kids.
What?
When having those people there, like the last time we went to Disney, it was Disney World, was like 2007.
Yeah, something like that. 2006, 2007.
Like forever ago. And I don't remember people doing caricatures and drawing cartoons and stuff then.
I don't know. I don't remember either.
I don't know. It was so long ago when I went
to... it's been 15 years, it's like 15, 16, 100 years, whatever.
Jesus, has it really been that long?
Yeah.
I'm fucking old.
Dude, I feel old. Like,
and my body's falling apart.
I can't eat sugar like I used to, and it's like really bumming me the fuck out because it's
Me
like
either.
I'm like I actually have to eat vegetables now, otherwise I feel like shit, and I'm like I hate this. I genuinely hate this.
I know for how many years you and I survived on energy drinks and fucking candy bars, and now we just like if I have half of a candy bar, I'm like I gotta slow down.
like I have 3 gummy worms and suddenly I'm in like cardiac arrest, and I'm just like, oh, I hate it because like I used to kill a bag of gummy worms, and now I'm just like, get them away from me, you know?
Oh, same. Like now the exception being Sour Patch Kids. I could literally eat an entire bag to myself.
Uh-huh.
But
I'm sorry.
Lauren.
I'm sorry. I'm running around all day today. I'm exhausted.
It is too early in the podcast for this.
I know, I'm sorry.
But at least today, I promise we are not going to have another 2-hour episode. We are so sorry, but
this is going to be more structured. We actually know what we're going to talk about today. Like,
thank you for letting us get that out.
Yes.
Because
first of all, thank you. And please give us feedback if you would prefer those long-winded chatty episodes or if you want more structure like we're going to do today, because the input is appreciated, because then we'll kind of just like go from there as to like how we'll run the show and stuff. So
yeah, like because we can do 2-hour episodes, like we can talk, but you know, I know not everybody wants to listen to a 2-hour fucking episode. So
right,
I mean, we might just do kind of like both for the time being, but
both.
I mean, what?
Both of these.
Lauren, I swear to God.
Both of these nuts. Anyway.
Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
A candle on Amazon called Both of These Nuts. I swear to God.
No, there isn't.
I swear on my life, you can look it up.
Hold on. I'm looking this up real quickly.
Do we have to put in the Bob Ross music?
No, it's going to take me 2 seconds. So
but I missed the Bob Ross music.
Okay, I'll put in the Bob Ross music.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is a candle.
I told you.
What does it smell like?
It was like vanilla and something.
That's not what nuts smell like. I'm sorry. Like,
you know what nuts smell like? Literally everything bad in the world. That's what they smell like.
Yeah, it's a bit more of an earthy scent.
Yeah, it's not vanilla. I was gonna say it smells like fungus. It smells like moisture. It smells like shit. Like they're all gross, you know?
You ever like walk into an abandoned building and like the roof is leaking? Like that's what it smells like.
So any abandoned place that Dan Bell has been, that's what a nutsack smells like. It's exactly that.
Funny enough, that's kind of he's going to be the inspiration for this episode.
Yep. See what I did there? Oh, I'm so good at this shit. But yes, he is.
So there's a couple things we're going to talk about today because, and I looked it up too. I don't think Dan Bell has ever been like randonauting before.
He has on Patreon.
Oh, okay.
He's done live streams when he's done it because one of his fans introduced him to, Randonautica, which is what we're going to talk about first. It's an app, and when because you could he was doing a thing for a while where you could go all the way to Baltimore to go spend a day with him and go on his live stream and shit. But he stopped doing that now. And one of the girls that went there, she introduced him to that app and he was loving it because you find some weird shit on there. But anyway, it's on his Patreon, which if anyone doesn't know what Patreon is, it's basically you're crowdfunding people to create content and you pay a certain amount a month and they give you exclusive content. Right. So, and Dan Bell, if you pay $5 a month for him, you get exclusive live streams and videos and movies and stuff that he's made. And It's really cool. I had to cancel for now because our rent went up and I just cannot afford it at the moment, but I'm going to go back. Oh, and he has a podcast on there too. And I'm just like plugging his Patreon. I'll link it below. And yeah, so you can like support him directly, basically. It's like a direct, like, you know, tip every month to Dan Bell to create more stuff, which is really cool. Yeah,
I was a patron for a while, but same thing. I kind of had to stop because, well, I don't have any income coming in right now. So
yeah.
At least not that much. So yeah, kind of had to stop that. But eventually I would like to go back because the podcast rules. It's hilarious. It's great.
Yeah.
And I like that's where I saw the Randonautica stuff. So sorry, I was going to drop some links with it, but you have to subscribe to his Patreon to see all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of videos on YouTube though of people using Randonautica, which we'll explain what it is right now. But
yeah, so I wanted to talk about this because I think it's fucking crazy and terrifying, and you know, there's a lot of like hokey kind of like apps, like the ghost hunting apps, where it's like, oh, this is a camera that'll detect like thermal changes, and it's supposed to be like a ghost, but it's all like pre-done, and you know, it's all
hoax because your phone would do that, not an app. You know,
yeah, it's all hokey. So, you know, I thought Randonautica was another one of these things, and like whatever. But honestly, like after everything I've seen about it and just like talking to other people that have actually used it, this shit is fucking intense. So what makes Randonautica like different is that I mean, it uses like GPS technology along with quantum physics to kind of send you coordinates for places to go to based on intentions that you set. So
right, and it's close to where you live. So they take your location and they put you in a place close, but not super close to where you live.
Yeah, like we'll say like 5 to 10 minutes within where you are.
Right.
When you do it. So let's say like your intention is to find something related to childhood. You know, so the app will ask you what your intention is. You put it in, you say childhood. There's different like clusters of like, I forgot how they put it, but it's like there's different ways that they like generate your coordinates. They use like different methods of like quantum physics. And I don't know anything about quantum physics, not even like a shred of a thing. Never.
Either.
Like, I don't know shit. So I'm probably not explaining that very well, but they'll send you somewhere basically that it's a place that you weren't naturally going to go to on your life path. So it's supposed to deviate you from your life path. And that's what's kind of dangerous about it, is that it puts you in kind of like situations that are out of your control, you know, sometimes. Like, because a lot of these people for shock value will set their intentions to like death, blood, murder, like all these horrific things, like cults.
There are like hundreds of thousands of videos on YouTube of people finding the most bizarre shit based from Randonautica. Like it just puts them in these coordinates and they find like a dead body or like some like a pile of wood, you know, just like weird shit, you know, and it's like, I don't know how they know that, but it's actually insane, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
you know who did a video on this, I believe, is Nexpo.
Yes.
He's used Randonautica before.
Nexpo did, so did Nick Crowley. I love Nick and Ryan. They're hilarious.
Oh my God, they're fantastic.
They both did. I remember in Nick's video, it brought them to a place where ambulances were just pulling up and they were pulling a body out of a house. And because their intention was like, their intention was like blood, I think is what he said it was.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was like the crazy, I was like, holy, and he showed like on the GPS exactly where the location was that house where all the ambulances were. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like I said to Lauren, I'm like, the next time you come visit, like I kind of want to do it, but I kind of don't. Like I would never do it alone.
In Connecticut, especially, like there's a lot of crazy, like abandoned places there. In Utah too. Like honestly, there's a lot of abandoned warehouses and stuff here. And I can only imagine where it would probably take me into a field that was on fire if I put in like fire or something.
It would take you to that fucking daycare that's like abandoned
Oh my God. We just passed it not too long ago. We're going to do another episode about that. Well, we'll talk about that in another episode. Not dedicate it, but just kind of mention it, you know?
What is the name of the daycare? Because I
don't remember, but wait, I know where it's at. Because
I'm going to look it up.
It's right near Nielsen's Custard in Mill Creek, which is right next to Salt Lake. And yeah, it's crazy. It's just as creepy in real life as the picture.
Let me see.
And it's supposed to be a daycare. What the hell is it called?
It's, what is it? Oh, here it is. Hold on. It is. Wait, this is the picture of it. Fun Time Kids Care.
Yeah. Okay. So, hold on. I'm going to put it because it's close to me. I'm going to put it in my Google Maps really quick.
Yeah. Let's see how
close we're doing Randonautica right now. Fun Time what? What was it called again?
Fun Time Kids Care. Hold on. What was the address? It was like 300 East something. Hold on. Where's my fucking...
It says permanently closed.
It is. It's closed now.
Here we go. It doesn't really say the address.
Yeah, it just says 300 East. East what?
Well, that's the name. Oh, it's on like... Oh, it's like right on 300 East and 1300 South. Yeah, that's like right in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And I've definitely driven by here before. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's like a Dayglow green like building, and there's never anybody in the parking lot. There's never any lights on, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, it's just this building that just sits there, and everyone's like, what's going on? It like, since like 2015, maybe even before then, there's all these like conspiracies about it. So
yeah, we passed it once going somewhere. I don't remember, but yeah, it's nuts because I'm not going to give out the exact address, obviously, but you know, my in-laws live in that area, not directly in that area, but generally close enough to that area. And we live about 20 minutes away in West Jordan, you know, again, not giving out where I live, but you know, it's the city I live in is West Jordan, Utah. So we're not in Salt Lake. We're just outside of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we've driven by that place a couple times, actually, just going to like restaurants and stores and stuff like that. Cause I used to live in Salt Lake for a couple months when I first moved there. And oh, it's so creepy. There's no one there. It's on the corner. You know, it's like a corner building. And I didn't realize we drove by it until my husband was like, hey, do you recognize this building? And I look up from like my phone because I was like on my phone in the car and it's right there. And I'm like, oh my God, I've seen a video about this. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And like people are like, you know, they speculate that it's like used for like money laundering, like it's a money laundering place or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, disguised as something else. And I don't know. I could believe that, but like there's other claims that people have like actually brought their kids there before. And I'm like, why in the fuck?
Like bringing their kids in and out of there. Like there's been pictures and stuff, but we don't know how old those pictures are either. So you can't really like say it's legit.
Yeah. And it was like 2 kids. And I'm like, they're not opening this big ass building for 2 kids.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's a lot around it. Point being, like Randonautica will take you to places like this, right? Like
right. Like if you typed in like childhood or child or something, it'll bring you to there. But usually it brings you into the middle of fucking nowhere, which is bizarre.
Yeah. And like, because like I said earlier, it'll bring you to places that you normally would not find yourself being at. Like, why would you go to this location? Like, it'll bring you there to see what you intend to see. And like, they're not all bad too. Like there was one I remember seeing, like a girl, like she was supposed to get a kitten and then her mom wouldn't let her. And then she was like driving around that day and she used Randonautica to like find a cat. Like her intention was cat. And then she went to the coordinates and a fucking cat came up to her. And she went home with it.
Crazy.
Isn't that crazy? And like she showed, it's like on TikTok or whatever. Like this is a big TikTok thing, which I don't know much about TikTok. I don't use it. but like this is like a big thing on there, and like there's people that do this regularly, and like especially like urban explorers, and
this is great for people like Dan Bell who do urban exploring and stuff, like it'll just take you to the middle of nowhere to somewhere you've never been before, and that's what they like, and I think that's a really cool thing about it, but
it's
you do
cool.
have to be careful.
Right. But, and like, we talked about in the last episode too, like you and I are very like spiritual people. We believe in like the law of attraction and karma, and like you get what you give, things like that. So when you're manifesting bad energy or intending to manifest it, it's going to come back at you. At least that's how I see it.
Right.
So the people who are doing it for the shock value because they're ignorant, going like, oh, let's do death. And then like they see like, someone get murdered or, like almost get hit by a car. That's what happened in Nick Crowley's video. He did death, and he said like 2 minutes later they were driving and a car narrowly missed hitting them by like inches.
Oh,
so I'm like, that's why.
Don't put that in, please.
Yeah, no.
If you're gonna try this, take our warning. Do not try and fuck with it like that. Like use it for things that are harmless, but don't try and put yourself in danger. Yeah, just safe. For a throw. Yeah, be safe with it, because there's other times too where it's like I remember seeing one video where a girl, I think her intention was like nostalgia, and she like randomly ran into like her roommate she hadn't seen in like 10 years. Yeah, just out of nowhere, and it's like, see, like I love it for that reason, or like it'll take someone to like their childhood home or something like that. But when you use it for things like that, like death and murder and cults, I remember the cult ones freaked me out the most. I'm like, I don't care for cults. I don't like that shit. I couldn't even be less interested than trying to put cults into Randonautica. I mean, same. Like, I do not want to, especially in haunted New England, I am all set with that. So yeah, no. Well, now in Utah, with everyone talking about UFOs, God, no, thank you. So glad I moved to a place where I moved from one haunted place to another. So great. A lot of Native American energy out there, though, apparently. Oh, tons. There's a lot of Native American stuff and dinosaur stuff. Lots of dinosaur stuff here. I love dinosaurs. You and I have always loved dinosaurs. I know. My husband loves dinosaurs and dragons. They're like his favorite thing on the planet. So like so we went to a dinosaur museum once at a place called Thanksgiving Point in Utah. And it was incredible. Like my nephew, like we just saw him recently for Thanksgiving, and he was like wanting to go to that so bad. And my husband was showing him pictures of like, oh, this is when we went a couple years ago or whatever. And we got to take him one of these days. I have like the cutest nephews on the planet. I love them so much. But like, I never realized how much I would love kids until I became an aunt. But anyway, it's like, we've always loved dinosaurs and shit too. Like, I was like enthralled. Like I was standing there with my mouth open like, whoa. Yeah, like honestly, if I were to use Randonautica, I would set my intention as like fossil or something. That would be cool, actually. See if like we could unearth like a dinosaur tooth or something. Like, right. That would be amazing. I would cry. I would be so excited. Oh my gosh. I would be too. Like, I would hope that would put me in the mountains somewhere. Like, not super in the mountains, but like on a path, Like, that would be really cool, because we don't live too far from the base of a mountain here. So, but getting up there is like a 40-minute fucking drive. But getting to the base is about 10 minutes. Yeah. So, it always takes forever to get up to the mountains and then back down. So, yeah, we don't really. I mean, we have like tiny mountains here in New England, like little baby mountains. Yeah, like I mean, there's ski areas there and stuff, but it's not like Utah where it's like mountains. But I mean, they are huge. Oh, but it's beautiful, and the air is clean because we live in a dust bowl, is what it's called. The mountains basically trapped in all of the pollution in the Salt Lake Valley, So like this morning, because it's getting colder and all of it's like kicking up and stuff, we had bad air quality. Yeah. And that happens in the winters too. Like you would think the winter would take all that crap out. No, it stays there because it's got nowhere to go. Yeah. So yeah, it's gross. It's very poopy. That's kind of why we want to move a little bit out of here and go either farther south or farther north and just get out of this general area because it's one, too crowded, and two, it's icky. But
yeah, see, like that's why I don't think I could ever leave New England because I like air and like
I know the air quality here sucks. I feel like I can't breathe half the time compared to New England.
Ugh, I know. But I was always wondering too, like if I were to use like this Randonautica app, like knowing me, it would take me to like a tiny cemetery with like an unmarked grave. Like that's where it would bring me.
Yeah, which would be so rad.
I mean, how many tiny cemeteries do we have here in New England? Like a quadrillion.
Right.
Like, so there's so many. Like, there's one like right around the corner from me that has like unmarked graves. And I'm like, why are they here? I don't know.
Right. Dude, you could type in like historic. Imagine the things that would come up for that, you know?
Oh, I know. We'd probably find like Thomas Hooker's diary or some shit. Or just like I don't know. Like that's
oh my
why
gosh.
like
oh sorry.
What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of history, Quinn's grandfather, who is a wonderful man, on Thanksgiving, he told me, he's like, do you know you're the like ninth great descendant now of William Bradford, who founded, you know, I think it was somewhere in New England, like Massachusetts or something like that, because their last name is Bradford, you know? And he's like the seventh great grandson of William Bradford, who was like one of the founding people here, I guess. And I'm just like, what? It's really rad.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, so because by marriage, I am like the ninth great granddaughter of William Bradford or whatever, like 9 times, you know.
That is crazy. I'm trying
Isn't
to think,
that
like,
so cool? I had no idea.
Like, we're descendants from just crazy Italians, but like,
yeah, quite literally.
you know, we're a bunch of different things. That's another episode in itself. Our family tree. We don't even have a family tree. We have like a family forest with like a plain and like a downtown area.
Yeah.
Thicket. Like, there is so many people in this fucking family. It's like, it's ridiculous.
It's like what Matteo Lena said. He's like, someone's got to stop us, you know?
Yeah. Me and my first 34 cousins, which literally, we have like 21 first cousins.
Or 20, yeah. We have over 20 because we have 8 first cousins alone because my dad is the youngest of 6 and my mom only has one sibling. So,
but she has 5 kids. My mom's sister has 5.
We have 5 first cousins on my mom's side, but then on my dad's side it's like 20 something. Because one of his siblings has 8 sons, and then there's 4, then 1, then there's a ton. So.
There's a ton of people in this family.
Yeah, we have about 20 something first cousins.
That's why your wedding, it was supposed to be a small wedding and it was 100 people.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted at least 20 to 30. It ended up being 100 because we had to invite the cousins and the everyone. So
the whole family. No, if it was the whole family, it would be like 500 people.
Oh, with Quinn's too? Yeah, it would have been easily 500 people.
You would have had to like rent out the state of Connecticut.
I would have had to take out like a loan just to fucking do this wedding.
It'd be ridiculous. But anyway, back to Randonautica.
Yes, sorry. I keep tangenting. Please don't mind me.
It's fine. Lauren, we have gone on this trip before. We have packed our bags and gone on this tangent so many times.
Yeah, we have.
But yeah, so like I was always interested to like try it, like Randonautica. I know there's so many like things that like, you know, make it seem like really scary, but you just have to like be mindful and like, you know, that's like with anything when you're using like tarot cards, like Ouija boards, you know, anything like that's considered like supernatural, like spiritual or anything like that. Like you just have to be smart and mindful. You know?
And use it for good rather than for selfish or evil intention, you know, which sounds like it's common sense, like people would just follow that, but you would be surprised how many people don't. So
yeah. And I feel like every decade there's like a thing that comes out where it just gives teenagers like the opportunity to literally shake hands with the devil. Like, you know, there's Ouija boards, now tarot cards and pendulums and ghost hunting and now Randonautica. It's like there's always something. Like, we just want to like bring evil into the world. Why? I have no idea. Like, I'm not one of these people. Like, we do tarot readings and use pendulums and things like that, but we are like unbelievably careful about it. Like,
right.
You know, you have to like.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying you have to like shield and, you know, like do all this preparation and stuff like that, meditate, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not just like you throw the cards around or just swing a pendulum and make shit happen. Like, there's so much more to it.
Right. And it's like people treat it like it's like another Friday night activity. It's like, oh, we could go to the movies, we could go bowling, or we can just go hunting for demons in the woods using Randonautica. Like, you know, it's not really what it's meant for, but
right. And that's how people use
that way
it
regardless. Yeah.
It's annoying. Like,
yeah, it is.
But, you know, and it makes for great fucking YouTube videos. I was scared shitless the first time I watched this. I was
oh my gosh. Well, because I remember telling you about it, Meg, because unfortunately my ex told me about Randonautica, and that's how I found out about it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I told you, and you were like, what?
Wait, he did?
Yeah, he did.
I don't remember that. I didn't pay attention to him. Like, I'm not even trying to be an asshole. I literally did not pay attention when he talks. So
yeah, I know. I understand, but yeah, no, so I don't remember that. You should probably at least remember like me telling you that for sure.
Yeah, but I don't remember him saying that.
Well, he said it to me. It was like on a phone call we had once, and you know.
I thought he said it like here. I was gonna say like
no.
I was tuning him out. Like I was simply ignoring him. But
yeah. No. This was like just when we would talk, and he's like, "Oh, have you ever heard of this thing?" And I'm like, "No." And he like sent me videos about it, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" You know?
Yeah, but he's also the fucking moron that would try to manifest a demon or something, like, you know, blood and murder, and you know, he would use it for that intent.
Well, yeah, and then he would go to the place to be like, "There's nothing there. This thing is a fucking joke," and like belittle it for no reason. And I'm like, "You're so stupid, it hurts." Like, physically, I have aged about 10 years from how stupid you've treated me in the last 7 years we were together. Like,
yeah. And you have not aged, by the way, but I understand that feeling.
Thank you so much, because I feel like I have 4 gray hairs. I'm starting to get wrinkles. Like, I need vegetables. Literally, I can't eat a gummy worm anymore. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Retinol. I started using it recently. It's great.
We're going to talk about that afterwards. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah, like I'll send you some links.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, so I wanted to talk about that just because, like, you know, Laura and I are big into, like, you know, anything where it's like you're trying to connect with the supernatural, you're, you know, doing something beyond our limits as human beings. And I was like, the concept is really cool, but also really dangerous, because you're messing with, like, you know, the natural evolution of like things, you know.
Right.
And here's the thing though, and I've read books about stuff like this, like law of attraction, and even stuff about like time travel and stuff like that, because the trope in, like, you know, time travel movies and stuff is that if you go back to the past and like it's the butterfly effect, you know, you kill a butterfly, it like throws off the entire, like, you know, sequence of events for humankind.
It's a chain reaction.
Yeah. But from what I was told, like, since things are set up a certain way and they're meant to happen a certain way, that wouldn't happen. So even if you did, like, the universe would like correct itself, you know, so to speak. So like it wouldn't throw everything off. Like, things might be done a little bit differently, but the outcome will still be the same. So the butterfly effect is basically pseudoscience. And, you know, things with like Randonautica too, my point being, like, when you deviate from that or you try to mess up, like, you know, I don't know what the correct term is, not space-time continuum, but like, you know, just like the natural flow of events. Like, when you do that, it can cause like severe consequences. So if you are going to do this, like be careful. Like, and by severe consequence, I mean it could end your life, it could end someone else's life, it could, you know, cause unprovoked like tragedy, just like all kinds of crazy shit. Like, just be careful, you know? Like, don't be fucking trying to summon a serial killer so he can chase you through the woods and you can post it to TikTok, you know?
Please.
Like, please. Like,
don't do it.
Yeah, we are not encouraging that. But honestly, like when you come home, I don't want to try it. Like, I really
know. I kind of wanted to. If we try it, we'll upload what we find to YouTube.
Yeah, like we'll upload it to the channel. Like we'll do it during the day. We're not going out at night because I don't like going out at night as it is. Like we'll do it in broad daylight. It'll be something nice. It'll be something great. Like it's probably going to take us to like an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese or something. Knowing us,
I would put in like antique, you know, and see what kind of antique things we could find. Or
ooh, I would love that too.
Like, you know, like a porcelain doll in a field. If that happens, I'll fucking scream. I'll be like, what? That's probably the creepiest I'll go.
Yeah, like, and I love dolls, but I would leave that doll exactly where it is. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
we're not taking the doll. We'll just, we'll smile and wave and walk away.
Yeah, like, okay, thank you for proving your point, and just leave. So,
be like Barbie at the end of Toy Story 2. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Does anyone else remember that blooper? It was fucking incredible. It
oh my God.
Every time.
We rewound that and watched it like 17 times in a row.
And her just like her face drooping because her cheeks hurt so bad from smiling. It's so funny.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Just at work when you have to like smile and nod at people even when they're giving you shit and you're just like, man, my face hurts. But,
yeah. My husband is like, if that was an Olympic sport, he would be a triple time like gold medal like winner of smile and nodding and just taking shit from people on a daily basis because man, he is good at his job because I couldn't. If someone sassed me, I'd sass them right. I can't. Like the older I get, the more sass I have. So
much sass.
Like the sass is overflowing.
I know, like I don't even know how I worked in customer service the way I did because it was literally like it just crushed my soul. But yeah, so case in point,
yes,
this app rules, but you got to be careful with it.
Yeah, so try it at your own risk if you really want to. I mean, it's free to download, I'm sure. And let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it's free to download. Yeah, like you don't have to pay for it. I think you could pay for things in the app, but you don't have to actually pay for the app.
Yeah, I don't think you do either.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah, no, you don't have to.
God, it's 3.1 stars. I wonder what happened.
People probably summoned dead bodies and shit, and they were like, worst app ever. Found a dead body.
2 stars because creepy. Too creepy a coincidence.
Like, that's what you signed up for, bud. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Literally.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so we like creepy shit. That's fun. You know, if you wanted check out Dan Bell's Patreon to watch his videos, I would recommend it. Like, pay the $5 or whatever if you want to watch it just one time.
Yeah.
Like,
because it'll last you for the whole month, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And it's honestly some of my favorite content on YouTube. Like, you can just search YouTube. There's so many, like too many to even discuss in this episode. But like, yeah,
besides Dan Bell's Randonautica videos, there's tons of other videos of people, you know, on YouTube doing it and getting the like bizarre results from it.
Yeah, like bad. Check out the Nexpo one and Nick Crowley's too. I mean, there's all kinds, and there's compilations of people just finding stuff. Like,
oh yeah, it's crazy. I love it. I love watching other people do it. I would not do it myself.
Yeah, like I don't know. If you're the kind of person that gets frightened easily, like maybe watch it with someone because it's kind of creepy. Like Laura and I are fucking badasses, so we watch it alone, like intentionally.
Referred to as a badass since probably the early 2010s, Meg, and I'm definitely sure of that.
What, you don't think you're a badass?
God, no. I am such a pussy. Dude, I cry over the weirdest things. Like I couldn't even tell you.
Like what?
Like, I watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding the other day and I was crying. I'm like, why? You know? It's not even sad. Like, the whole movie is wholesome. The only sad thing about it is that dad is a prick. But otherwise, like, the movie's great. Why am I crying?
Lauren, please. It's because you miss us. Because that's like our family.
No, it's true. Damn it.
Literally, the day of your wedding was exactly how it was in that movie.
Yeah.
People like everywhere.
A fifth of the people, though, of that movie.
But still people everywhere. Just fucking chaos. Like,
oh, I know. Because we had 3 people from the salon there. And, you know, we were just... And then it was like the 3 bridesmaids plus me, plus my mother-in-law, plus my mom, plus my aunt. Like, everyone was there. And then my dad was coming in and out. And my mom's yelling at him, get out of here. You can't be here. Well, whatever.
I mean, where was he going to go?
Because the dad and the brother are still there and the aunt's yelling at them to get out of the house. So funny.
I mean, literally, like, that is our family.
Mm-hmm. And the chin hairs plucked while trying to give a heartfelt speech to their daughter. Just like,
that's
so funny.
An accurate representation.
Mm-hmm.
But
anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's basically we wanted to touch on Randonautica because it's just something that we've been fascinated with for a while now. The other part of this episode, which we're really excited because
yes.
Laura and I used to be fucking mall rats. Like,
oh yeah,
we used to go, like, especially like the early 2000s when we were like teenagers. We were constantly there. Constantly. Mm-hmm. Different ones, different everything. So all over. So Dan Bell also has a series on YouTube that you can actually just go on YouTube and find. It's not through the Patreon. It's his Dead Mall series. So
and he started this genre on YouTube. He's the one who innovated the Dead Mall, like, videos on YouTube.
Yes, he gets full credit.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically goes to malls that are, like, you know, slowly dying out or defunct or on their way out, you know, just like little malls from, like, they're basically like time capsules from like the 80s, 90s, even the 70s, you know, depending on how old they are. So it's just incredible to see like how like something that was such like an integral part of like our youth is like kind of phasing its way out. That's why there's like a lot of liminal pages about like liminal spaces and stuff. There's a lot of dead malls because a lot of them are considered like liminal spaces now.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like a shell of like a past life, you know, but we'll talk more about that when we come back from the break.
Yeah, so that's what we're gearing up towards. So this is the Dan Bell tribute episode today. Thank you, Dan Bell.
Quite literally.
For inspiring this episode. And then he just pops in and he's like, today's episode is brought to you by NordVPN or just something.
Yeah.
Like,
we are not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. Please don't think that.
No, we don't get a cent off of this podcast. So
no, not even a little.
But all right. So I'm putting in a song here real quickly for the break. I have no clue how to say this band name because they are...
I think it's in French or something.
Yeah, no, they're French. I'm going to pronounce it the white way, like the American way. Nécropole is the name. I'm going to put in one of their songs, which is also in French. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Really good French black metal band. French black metal, some of my favorite. I mean, it's just fucking haunting, those riffs. I have been obsessed with this band since like the second I heard about them. So we're going to put in some fucking beautiful, raw French black metal for you, which is in stark contrast to everything we are talking about today. But
quite literally.
But you know what? There's one riff in this song has just been stuck in my head for like 6 months. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. So I'm like, I am putting it on the podcast. I'm getting it out of me. It's happening. So
hell yeah.
I'm going to put in the song here. When we come back, we're going to talk about malls and mall culture and our experience with malls and why they're fucking phasing out, because it's definitely a thing that's happening now.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure people have talked about this before, but this is just going to be our take.
Yeah, our take, our experiences with going to the mall and how we feel about things. So, yeah, so I'm excited about it. So I'm going to put in this song and we will be right back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
I hope everyone enjoyed that. depressing ass song.
It's actually not that depressing. It's like really pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can black metal be pretty? I don't know.
Yeah, I can.
I'm getting my fucking metal
I
card
haven't
revoked.
listened to the song yet, so I'm just calling it depressing going off what you said. So
Dude, I highly recommend you and Quinn listen to that because Quinn
Okay.
will especially love it. I already know that. So
you guys are exactly the same music wise, so I'm sure of that.
isn't that fucking hilarious? Like,
Yeah.
everyone right now, really quick before we get into the mall thing, everyone right now, since it's towards the end of the year, is posting like their most played shit on Spotify and YouTube music. And Quinn posted yours, like, because you have like the shared account.
Well,
And-
I just listen to his Spotify more than my own.
Oh, well, I thought you guys had a shared account.
Well, we have a family plan, just different accounts.
I see.
Yes.
The one that, so assuming it's Quinn's, it literally was like typo negative and carnivore, and I was like, okay, Peter Steele, like,
yeah.
literally.
I can't tell you how much he listens to Carnivore. Oh my god, I hear it every morning. I hear
love
Jesus
Carnivore.
Hitler one more time. I swear to God.
I love Carnivore.
Oh, but I mean, I love it, but it's just like I hear it all the time. Now I know all the songs. So
Oh, I get it. That's why I'm like a big Impale Nazarene fan now, is because the ex would play it constantly, and I'm like, now I just love it. So
yeah. But
I mean,
like,
I always did, but more so after that.
besides like Typo Negative and Carnivore, it was him in Cradle of Filth. And then I'm like, he really went through a hymn phase this year, and it's all we listened to for months. Now I know more hymn songs than I ever have, and I'm like, probably should have went and saw them, but whatever.
I mean, you and I watched a lot of Viva La Bam, so
I know,
You
but
know?
I didn't listen to a lot of him. That's the problem. I only knew a few songs. I didn't know like almost the entire library like I do now. Like Christ.
yeah. I mean,
You know?
I like him. I like some of their songs.
Oh, I love
but-
it. I love their music. I just never thought I listened to that much him in my life, and here I am. So,
Yeah. And then what was the last? Oh, the last one was FM84, who we've played on the podcast before.
Oh yeah. I mean, fitting for this episode for sure.
I mean, definitely. It's like, what would you call them? They're like, hold on, let me see how they're classified. Excuse me.
It's like, it's not synthwave, but it's like
I guess it is. Hold on.
they have a very retro-y sound to them, like with
Yeah,
the
no,
synthesizers.
Yeah, 80s inspired cinematic synthwave is what they call themselves.
Yeah.
So, excuse me.
Very fitting for this episode, honestly. So
Yes, because in the Dan Bell videos too, not only does he play like vaporwave, synthwave, kind of like 80s inspired, like
yeah, like that mall
music.
music. Yeah.
Which is just it's my bread and butter.
A lot
I
of
love
Dan
it.
Mason. Yeah.
Like, it's funny because you and I are metalheads, but like, God, that's music that has just always resonated with us for some reason. So
I just love it. I love it.
not only that, but like in the beginning, he'll put clips from like, old like late 80s, early 90s, like infomercials, advertisements, movies, clips.
Oh my gosh.
stuff.
And he like makes fun of them, and it's so funny. It like makes me cry laugh every time.
Oh yeah. And they'll like edit it to like make them all look like fucked up. Like there was like one where it was like a tanning ad, and he like made them like look like bright red. Like, look at how great we look, and they're like bright fucking red. They look like reptilian. So it
Oh
was
my
hilarious. So
fucking funny.
oh, it's hilarious. Like, and it's funny, like, because you and I watched that shit growing up and we didn't think anything of it, but now it's considered like an art form in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me, like
Mhm.
how time works. But yeah, so we're gonna get into the mall thing.
Yes.
Very excited.
Should we insert some like 2 minutes of mall music right here?
Yep.
Okay. Hell, if you feel like it, put it through the rest of the episode because that'd be nice.
Okay, we're gonna have mall music through the rest of the episode, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you and I, like I said earlier, we were mall rats. Like, we were, taken to the mall. Like, mom would bring us and stuff when she had to get in her cardio. She was a mall walker.
Yeah.
Like, and that was its own, like, flavor of, like, thing that happened at that time. You'd have the people that would literally go to the mall just to walk. And like, so she would bring us, you know, she'd bring like the stroller or whatever, and we just go around the mall, and we didn't care because it was just a bunch of bright lights and colors, and we were just excited as fuck to be there.
Yeah, and malls back when they first came around, like 70s, 80s, 90s, they were very colorful and bright and, you know, just very fun, you know, looking. You know, lots of lights, lots of outrageous colors, lots of, you know, like stuff that fit the style then, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was
and
exciting.
I don't know if it's because of malls, but like I've always been a fan of places that look like, how do I describe this? Like, it looks like they brought the outside to the inside. So like, you know, like fake grass and plants and stuff, but you're like inside. You know,
yeah,
what I'm talking about?
Like those fake like palm trees and that fake grass, like that fake green grass that they have, and like plastic flamingo. So it looks like you're in fucking Miami, but you're in the middle of the Midwest, you know?
In a mall.
In a mall, yeah.
Like, there's always been something so, like, nostalgic about that for me. I think it's just because the mall we went to is called West Farms Mall. It's still open in West Hartford, Connecticut. That is the mall we went to, and it's still, like, it's still thriving. Like,
yeah. And it's changed a lot in like the 30 years we've been going there, you know?
It's funny because it looks the same for the most part, but like all the stores and stuff that comes and goes and things like that, that's what really has changed. But like the stores that are there now are like going strong. Like,
yeah.
Because they're using like relevant stores like Torrid and like Talbot's and like all these places that like people actually shop at. So I don't know, it's crazy. Like, so the mall that we always went to normally is still kind of like thriving, but the others not so much. Like,
yeah,
there's quite a few. Like, we used to go to there was one in Waterbury, Connecticut we would go to, but we haven't been there in a long fucking time.
I don't know what happened. Well, we used to go with friends in high school, and I don't know what happened to that one.
Yeah, I don't know either. Same with the one there was one in Meriden, Connecticut. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Brass Mills or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we only went there because we would go to the Torrid there, but they moved it to the one in West Hartford. So now it's like we don't even have to bother going to Meriden. But there was that one. I'm trying to think, what are the other ones? Sometimes like when my dad's family lives down in like the Danbury, like Bethel, like Newtown area of Connecticut, like right near New York. When we go down there to visit, sometimes we'd stop at the mall there, because there was like Christmas tree shops, and our mother was like obsessed with that.
Now they're closing the Christmas tree shops too.
Yeah, but she used to go because there wasn't one really close to us.
No, they were all far.
Yeah, they were all like far. So when we'd be near one, she would go right in because she'd get a bunch of shit for cheap. And
yeah, because they always had, it was one of those stores where everything is always on sale, like a Bath and Body Works, which, by the way, running theme in Dan Bell's like Dead Mall videos, whenever like a mall's about to close, or he goes and walks through a mall like, you know, days before closing, or they're just on the brink of closing or whatever, like one of the two stores that is always open is a Bath and Body Works. They will put a Bath and Body Works in a crater if they could. I mean, honest to God.
Yeah, because we all have to have our warm vanilla sugar lotion.
I know, they're everywhere. We have to get our damn candles, which I'm guilty of, but like they smell amazing.
Quite literally, I have one burning right now. But
yeah. I have a eucalyptus mint one, which is like my favorite, and it's
I have it's white sage and eucalyptus that's burning. It smells really good.
Oh yeah, I need to get that. Please remind me. Anyway,
it's great. But yeah, no, that store was like, there are two things that will survive the apocalypse: cockroaches and Bath and Body Works.
And all of their they will sell you shit during the apocalypse. Half off on hand soap every season, you know?
Yeah. Half off on hand soap. Apocalypse sale now.
Yeah.
Like,
buy 3, get 3, you know?
Buy 3, get 3 for your apocalyptic needs. It's just like, fucking seriously, Bath and Body Works.
Good during this apocalyptic season. And it's like, god damn, you know?
It's like, I mean, we're going to die in fiery hell death, but at least we smell like, cherry blossom and fucking vanilla.
At least my burning flesh can give off the smell of white sage and whatever.
Yeah. It's just like, I know, but like, yeah, a lot of the stores kind of like are defunct now. Like they're stopped opening in malls because places like Amazon obviously exist. So it's like, why am I going to go to the mall when Amazon will just bring it to me in like 2 days, sometimes less.
And here's the thing about Amazon too that I recently found out is a lot of businesses will store their stuff at Amazon warehouses. So they're choosing to have their stuff sold through Amazon, and they're not really turning to like physical stores anymore. I mean, they still exist, but it's far and few between. It's probably cheaper for them to just store it in a warehouse rather than open up a whole other store and have to hire people and like whatever. It's like,
yeah, well, because they don't have to pay rent on a place, that saves costs. They don't have to pay employees and labor costs and things like that because that's all done through the Amazon. So you save a ton of money going through them. Like, it's a smart business decision. Like, there's a company that I get some of my skincare stuff through, like my lotions and stuff, because I have psoriasis. So they make stuff like skin products specifically, like medical grade for like psoriasis, eczema, like skin issues like that. And I've been going to them for over a decade now. And before I used to have to buy directly through their website, and I'd have to pay like a ton for shipping. It took so long to get, like, it was hard to like buy it in bulk because I use it daily, but it was hard to buy in bulk because it was expensive. Like, I pay at least, like, if I bought in bulk, it was like $150 for lotion. And then they opened up on Amazon. So, I mean, the products themselves are a little bit pricey, but no more than like a high-end skin product. So we'll say about like between $15 to $30. So then I could buy it through Amazon, but then I don't have to pay the shipping, and then it gets there quick as hell,
Right.
And it's so much better than going through their website. And it's like still like the same product. It's not like, something different or tampered or anything like that. It's so much easier. So I understand why like people start closing their stores down and stuff. Though sometimes, you do want to, especially like with clothes, like you do want to go into a store and like try them on.
Yeah.
But, for them, and it's mostly at the mall now, is like clothing stores, because, sometimes it's just better to go in and try, and because you don't want to order something that doesn't fit and then have to return it and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's a whole fucking headache. I'm sure we've all been through at some point.
Yeah.
But, it is like crazy how, because malls weren't just like, going and shopping and stuff like that. It was like its whole, there's like this subculture like with it too, with just like going and like hanging out, going to like, going to eat too, restaurants, like food courts, stuff like that. Like, I'm not even kidding. So yesterday I watched a bunch of Dead Mall videos from Dan Bell in like preparation for this episode.
Yeah.
And it was like almost like a Pavlovian response. Like,
yeah,
I saw a mall. Because every time you and I go to the mall, what do we get, Lauren?
We would go to Pretzel Time and we would get those pretzel bites and like a smoothie. It was either like strawberry or I would get raspberry, like a raspberry smoothie.
Yep. And 2 minutes into the video, all I wanted was pretzels and a smoothie.
Oh my gosh. They still have Pretzel Times and stuff in the mall, by the way, but
it's called Pretzel Maker now. It's not Pretzel Time.
Yeah, I know
saw that
name, but it's the same pretzel place, and you could get those little pretzel bites in the big ass fucking like cup, that they give you.
Yeah.
And it's God, there was nothing better.
I never ate like soft, like baked pretzels anywhere else except the mall.
Me too. Though recently I went to this restaurant / bar called Bohemian in Midvale, Utah, and they had this pretzel on a hook with like this spicy mustard that was so incredible, and it was $12. I did not know that till we got the check. And I'm like, this motherfucker talked me into getting a pretzel and didn't tell me how much it was. Like, that's how gullible I am. Like, give me the pretzel. It looked delicious. You see some shit on a hook, you'll want it too. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb, but
$12 for pretzel.
$12 for a giant ass soft pretzel. I'm like, I could have went to the mall, gotten those pretzel bites and a smoothie for half the price.
I mean, literally,
or just about the same price.
But dude, that shit, like, I was sitting there and all I wanted yesterday was a fucking pretzel.
I know.
That is all I wanted. So, like, we would go, it was like a whole day thing almost, like, back in the day. Like, when we were young, like, you would go and make a day out of it almost because, well, at least the malls around us too, there was always other, like, stuff too. Like, sometimes there's, like, arcades or other restaurants or stuff like that, or movie theaters. Some malls have, like, movie theaters in them. So you make a fucking day out. Like, I remember one time we went to the Waterbury Mall with a friend of ours, a girl named Mecca, who used to live in Waterbury before she moved here. And so we'd go hang out with her, you know, friends in Waterbury, like, at the mall. We were there literally, like, 12 hours one day.
Yeah.
Like, the whole day, because there was, like, a million things we were doing. And it was just, like, it was a good place for us to, like, kind of congregate and, like, you know, just hang out and fucking see each other. Like, how many times have we gone and just, like, spent, like, the whole day there?
Oh, I know. I mean, it's
like,
crazy. And you know what's crazy, too? I just went, there's a couple malls near me, and one of the malls here still has an arcade, and they have a movie theater and stuff. So, at least in Utah, they still have that stuff.
I mean, I love that. I know there's some in Connecticut, too, that have, like, movie theater. I think the one in Waterbury has a movie theater in it still. And
yeah, like, some malls will still have the theaters in it and stuff, but they're still thriving. But, like, man, it just felt like half the people were there than usual, you know? And the malls here are ginormous, and it just felt kind of empty, you know? Especially on a Friday. I'm like, you figured it'd be full. I had to go there because I had to go to Lens Crafters, you know? And only the one closest to me was in a mall. So I, you know, made an appointment to go because I needed new glasses before I got married and stuff. And yeah, we would just walking around, and I went with my mother-in-law and my husband, and she was trying to find a dress still. And she couldn't even find one in the mall. She had to order one online and get it custom made because there was just nothing. Like, we went to Macy's and, like, all these big stores or whatever. Nothing. It's like slim pickings in the store. And it's because people don't want to deliver to these places anymore. Like, at all.
Right.
You know? It's just crazy.
No. Like, I even remember, like, we went to, and this is in Manchester, Connecticut. It was the Buckland Hills Mall. We went there, and this is back in, like, 2014. You had gotten tickets. Mick Foley was doing, like, a stand-up set or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And it was at they call it the Hartford Funny Bone, but it's not in Hartford. It's in, you know, southern Connecticut somewhere.
No, it's northern. It's north of Hartford, Manchester.
Or northern, sorry. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So this mall literally has, like, a comedy club, like, in it. And it's a big ass mall. There's, like, a movie theater. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. So I think it's still doing well. But, like, I even still remember in, like, 2014 when we went for a Friday night, aside from, like, you know, the comedy club and, like, the line to get in, not that many people.
Yeah, it was dead.
Yeah, it was, like, the strangest thing. Like, the last few times, like, I think the last time you and I went to the mall was in, like, 2017 or something. Like, remember that one time and we spent, like, $200 in Sephora and almost hit the deck?
Oh my god, yeah.
Do you remember that? And we got in the car and started panicking. I was like, oh my god, I didn't mean to spend that much. But
I know.
I remember walking around, I'm like, there is no one here. Like, no one. And it's just the craziest thing how 10 years prior to that, if you went at that time, it was like you were bumping elbows with everybody.
Yeah, it was like neck to neck traffic trying to get there.
Yeah, like, just packed. And, like, you know, it's crazy because a lot of the malls around here are still pretty okay. There's one, though, and I want to talk about this because I think we've only been there, like, a couple times. And it was, like, in the early 90s. There's a mall in Bristol, Connecticut, or was. It's not there anymore. It was called the Bristol Center Mall in downtown Bristol. And
which, by the way, downtown Bristol is also just, like, deserted to hell now, too.
Yeah, there's all these, like, just abandoned buildings and like shit that needs to just be redone that the town just won't even acknowledge. Like, it's insane. So like this mall was built, I don't know when, late 70s, early 80s, something like that.
Yeah.
And even then, because of how small it was and it was just like a weird location, everything, it never did well. You know,
Right.
Even like when malls were like in their prime and stuff, never did well. I remember Mom, because she used to walk, there's right near there is like the Memorial Boulevard in Bristol, with like a bunch of plaques and stuff like that for veterans and stuff. And she used to go walk the boulevard with, you know, pushing the stroller with us and stuff. And I remember after she had done that, we went over to the Bristol Mall because she needed to get something. And we were like 5 or 6. Like we were kids. Like, so this is like mid to late 90s. And it was a ghost town even then. Like, it was so like outdated. It was just like all the stores in there were just like just cheap and unnecessary, you know? Like there was literally no reason to go there. Like,
well, Mom told me she used to go to the gym there. Her and one of her friends from high school did. And they would go to the gym and then go get like food at the Bristol Mall.
Yeah. So like it was more so like it wasn't really like a mall. It was more just like a I'm trying to think.
It was like a strip mall. It wasn't like a full mall, you know?
Yeah, it was like a strip mall. It was like only one floor with like a bunch of like little storefronts, and then just, you know, like there was the gym and there was like a Subway and some other like a pizza place, and like that was it. So it was like an overglorified department store, I would say. But it was called the Center Mall in like Bristol Center Mall. And then they finally got rid of it in like 2006 or something.
Yeah.
But I just remember like looking at pictures of it recently, like in preparation for this episode. I also looked that up. Man, it was just a dump. It was like not even a good mall. It wasn't even built well. It was like, it literally is like the epitome of like dead mall.
Right.
And like it's crazy to me how we have spent so much time in places like this, you know, like, and how many like good memories we have associated with these places. And now it's like it's like sobering to see like how things have changed, because especially like through the Dead Mall series that Dan Bell does, like it just shows you like how different things are now.
Well, seriously, and what I love about the Dead Mall series, it doesn't just tell you, well, this was a mall and it's going to be destroyed. He like he doesn't get too much into history either. It's just like comparisons to like when it first opened to like now, and like why it's closing, what's going on, like what's still there, and like it's enough knowledge where it doesn't overwhelm you, and that's what I really like about it, because there's other people who really like to get into the history of malls and stuff like that, which I truly appreciate, but I just want to see it. I don't really care about the history that much unless I really want to like look that up myself. Like there's a couple maybe, but like otherwise, like I don't need to know the whole history of the mall. I just want to see like what it looks like, or when it's about to be torn down or whatever. I remember he did one, and I think it was in Ohio, and they built it on like sinking ground. Like the ground was literally sinking into itself where the mall was, and they have to destroy it because of it, you know?
Yeah, like I remember seeing one too, like where he said the only reason the mall wasn't doing well is because it had like a series of robberies.
Right.
You know, and it's like, yeah, that's going to fucking deter people from going there, of course. So, you know, so they're not all like, you know, just totally catastrophic, though some of them, it's just like some went into debt, some like, you know, just made bad business decisions or didn't keep up repairs, or, I mean, it's just, and it's sad to see too, like malls that like go unattended to, like when there's like stains on the carpet, like shit's leaking,
just, like people just stop caring, and they're like, whatever, it's getting destroyed, I'm not cleaning this. And it's just like, that's sad, because it's like when I look at those videos, and tell me if you do this too, when I look at those malls, I try to envision like the people that would have walked in there, you know, like the people who worked there, people having first dates, people getting proposed to, people spending time with their families and their friends and their whoever, like all the different kinds of people that would be in buildings like that, and they're just not there anymore. Like people who used to be there who are no longer there, you know? It's like, it's just sad, you know?
I mean, it is sad.
It breaks my heart because it's like people getting their first job working at the fucking Payless in the mall, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of memories in those malls too, and I think that's why, at least for me, it like hurts to see places like that go, because you just think about the thousands of people who have been in that place and it's just gonna be gone, you know? And it's
right.
It's sad to think about.
It's almost like crazy too, because then you wonder, like, you know, because like I said, when we were younger, that's a place we would go aside from, like, you know, like the movies or, you know, amusement
bowling
parks,
alley, and yeah,
places like that. But like, where do fucking kids go now to like hang out with their friends and like do stuff?
I know, like
go to each other's. I mean, we went to our friends' houses and stuff, but like, do they just go to their friends' houses and just sit on their phones? Like,
well, or they just don't even go and they just talk over Discord or something like that and play games. Because, like, I hate to say it, the pandemic kind of set us up for failure socially, because now people just find it easier to be in home and everything can be accessed from home. So why are they going to go out?
I mean, true. You know,
it's like, well, I can have human interaction at home, but it's not the same. Like, talking to someone through a screen is not the same as talking to them in person. And
right.
I will die on that hill, you know? Like,
no, absolutely.
If you think a long distance relationship isn't a real relationship because they can't see each other, then why do you think it's okay to only talk to people through the internet and not in person? You know, it's like,
right.
You know, it's different in person. It's not that the relationship is worse because you don't see each other, but it's like, you know, it's, you actually see people and feel them and get human contact. We are social creatures. We are meant to socialize, and not having places like malls and stuff like that to do that, it just makes it hard to interact with people, and everyone just sits behind a fucking computer all day, and you know, because it's easier. People don't want to put in the effort anymore. Everyone just wants everything done for them because we've gotten lazy.
Yeah, like the only places like that I think that really are still kind of relevant is like amusement parks, because the movies like is too expensive now. Like, no, hardly anybody goes to the movies now because it's so fucking expensive. And
and now, ever since the pandemic too, a lot of movies just go right to streaming. Like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out and like right before Halloween. It was in theaters, but they also streamed it to Peacock, which is why it made so much money, because everyone watched it at home. Not a lot of people went to the theaters in comparison.
No, it's insane. Like, you know, all the places I think like that we used to go to like go see people and, you know, meet up with people and hang out and stuff are just like becoming defunct. And it's like, well, how do these kids like socialize now? It's like through a screen. And it's like,
well, I know. Well, even like some kids who play sports, I could see that. Like they go to basketball courts in the park, and we used to go to the park too. I forgot about that. Like,
oh yeah.
I live next to a park, and like even going there, you just don't see a lot of kids, and you don't see a lot of people there during the day. And it's a big, beautiful park. Like, it's gorgeous. I love going there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't ever see anyone there. Like, no kid. Like, sometimes you'll see kids, but like, it's not like it used to be. Like, parks would be crowded. Like, we used to go to the parks in the summer, you know, to do activities and stuff.
Yeah, like we used to go like even to the library because we were nerds. Like we go to the library, and we talked about this in another episode too. Like during the summer, like they did like the reading programs and stuff, and we would go and, you know, every week and you know, have someone read to us, and we'd draw a picture about the story, and that was it. But like, you know, I think about like all these things that we did as kids, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like we were like really like the last generation of that. Like the generation after us, like maybe a little bit, but like we were the one, like technology was kind of like developing as we were kids. Like we had, you know, like one PC was like a Windows 97.
Yeah.
Like dinosaur.
That white brick of a computer. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, you know, we had like video game consoles, just like an NES. We played like Tetris and like that was it. And, you know, when we got older, we had AOL, Instant Messenger, AIM, as we called it back in the day.
Yeah, and we had that DSL slow as shit internet too. Like,
yeah, and like MySpace and stuff. But like, it was like one of those things where you go on like after school for like an hour, and like that was it.
Yeah, like we weren't really like on the computer like too much, and we weren't allowed to have computers in our room. We had a family computer.
Yeah,
we didn't get computers of our own until we hit college. So,
yeah,
if that says anything, until once we were 18, then we were allowed to have laptops in our room. So,
yeah,
like now everyone has a cell phone before they're even 13. But like then we didn't even have a cell phone until we were 14, 15, and it was a flip phone.
Yeah,
you know?
Like you had to text the old fashioned way and stuff. Like I wasn't, you know, and you had so many minutes before you had to pay extra.
Yeah, then you had to wait till 9 o'clock because it was free after 9 o'clock to call people. And seriously, it's like that was the thing. And like, because we were the generation before technology really took off, and the generation after us doesn't know what it's like, you know?
Yeah, so it's, I don't know, it's weird, like, to see it kind of happening again, like with malls phasing out. I mean, it started with the bookstores. Like, Borders doesn't exist anymore, which is, we loved going there in like hours, just reading through stuff, sitting in there. We'd order a coffee. I felt so mature at like 13.
Yeah, and
like
the things about malls too is they would house a lot of small businesses, but then when big chains and corporations took over, all those small businesses got like run out of the malls too, you know?
Yeah.
And then eventually even the chain stores got run out of the malls because they knew it would be easier to just, you know, put their shit in Amazon or just do it right from their website and not have stores anymore, you know? And
yeah, like I remember when we were teenagers, there was a store which ended up being called Blue Moon, but it wasn't called that initially. It was called something, I don't remember what the name was, but it was called something else. It was like you know, like spiritualist kind of place. It sold like incense and crystals and tarot cards and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, we had a friend whose mom was Wiccan, so we kind of were introduced to that because of her, because she knew all that stuff from her mom. And that was where, like, you know, we had been exposed to, so it was a small business. It was like a couple that owned it. And then it got turned into Blue Moon, which was a little bit more corporate, and it sold a little like jewelry and stuff like that mostly.
Yeah, it wasn't as niche.
Yeah, it wasn't like as, you know, it wasn't like tools and stuff like that. But I'm gonna see if it's still there. Hold on.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. Let me see.
West Farms is kind of like turned into more of like a high-end mall, so like it's a lot of high-end, like expensive clothes stores, you know?
Yeah, because it's not there anymore.
And we didn't even talk about the best part of West Farms for fucking how many years. There used to be a Rainforest Cafe in that mall.
Yes!
And they got rid of it and put in a Forever 21. Like, you want to talk about the biggest slap in the face, you know? Like, that was like having a bit of Disney 20 minutes away from my house, you know? And it was so fun to go there because, you know, it's Disney themed. You know, it's owned by Disney, I'm pretty sure. And
is it? Hold on, I'm gonna double check that.
Well, because they have them in Disney parks, you know, and or at least in. I think it's. I don't know if it's Disney owned, but at least it's associated with it.
It's owned by another company called Landry's Incorporated.
Oh, okay. Well, then why was it Disney? I don't know. Anyways,
well, it wasn't Disney. It was Universal or something. It was outside of Disney, so it wasn't like at a Disney park.
Okay. Never mind, I fucked up, but
no, it's fine.
Anyway,
yeah, and like, you know, we talked about on the podcast too, like how much we loved, like, you know, Chuck E. Cheese growing up, and like in animatronics and things like that, and Disney too, and like, you know, so like you said, it was like having a little Disney near us. So like, you know, we were too old to go to Chuck E. Cheese after a while, of course.
Yeah, but we weren't that old to not go to the Rainforest Cafe, so
right. And the food was okay.
Yeah, the food is subpar, but you go for the atmosphere because it's exciting. There's like animatronic elephants and gorillas, and outside there was a hippo. That was the best part for me. But then it turned into a crocodile. Then I was pissed. I'm like, where's the fucking hippo? You know?
I know.
Like, you know, you could throw coins at it like a wishing well. And they had a gift shop before you even got into the restaurant, and there was fish tanks everywhere, and the bar stools were animal butts. Like, it's the best place on the planet. And we're going to do another podcast on this, but there's a video series from Eddie Burback and Ted, what's his name? Ted Nivison, I think. Sorry, I'm going to fuck up his last name, but
yeah, I don't remember.
They went to every single rainforest cafe that's still open in North America. So not even just the US, but also Canada. There's one in Canada still. And I am obsessed with that video. It's the funniest and most amazing thing I've ever seen. So we'll talk about it in another episode, though. But
yeah, it's so great. And I think that one in Canada, it's like right near Niagara Falls. That's the closest one to me now here in New England.
There's two in Niagara Falls. There's one on the New York side and one on the Canada side.
Oh, so maybe it's that one then.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that's the closest one to me now. When it used to be 20 minutes away, now it's like a 6-hour drive. God damn it.
This one to me is in Las Vegas, and that's an 1.5-hour flight from here, or 6-hour drive.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, like that used to be like we would go there, like because my dad also like worked right up the road from the mall. Like it was technically Farmington. It was right on the line of where the mall was. So like, you know, and you went to school not too far from there. It was CCSU.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, so like sometimes we would just go meet my dad for like dinner, you know, after work and stuff. Like we would take a drive up there. We'd just go with our mom or whatever. And, you know, we go meet him for dinner, like go walk around. Like there was a Verizon store in there too. So sometimes if I needed like a new charger or something, like I could go
and an Apple store. When we got iPhones, we would just go to the Apple store.
Yeah. So it's like, it used to be like, you know, just a way for us to like get out of the house too. Like,
right.
Kids don't really have that anymore. Like they have a million reasons to stay inside rather than go out.
It's partly that, but also, and I hate to put the blame on parents, it's parents who have to work 2 fucking jobs and they don't have time to bring their kid anywhere.
Yeah, because everything's so expensive nowadays. Like
that's what I mean. It's like mostly because of that, but you know, there's some parents who are just deadbeats and don't want to bring their kids anywhere. You know.
Well, that too.
But I'm not going to get into that. But it's very common here in Utah, unfortunately, that men work and women don't, and the women don't want to take care of their damn kids. So
it's cute.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, like it used to be like just a place you would just go and it was like enjoyable. You could just sit down and fucking relax, or you could fucking like if you had like a bunch of things you need to get, like Christmas shopping was always great because like you just go to one place, get everything at once, actually see what you were purchasing, and then like that would be the end of it. Like
you don't have to wait 3 days to get it in the mail or a week or whatever. And then it shows up and it's damaged or someone stole it or like whatever. Like,
which happened to me recently. So
I know. I will say though, my husband got a PS5 for his birthday, which was like a week ago. Like on Black Friday this year was his birthday, and my in-laws literally picked him one up from Costco because he was going to try and order one online, but someone would definitely steal that shit here. So we're like, there's no way. Like, we have to go to the store and get it. And miraculously, they found one that was bundled. So for the amount that he got, he actually saved money. And that was his birthday present. He got himself a PS5, but he had to go to the store and get it. Like, there's some stuff I feel like, you know, if the mall's open, I would still go to the mall and get like specific clothes or like specific stores. You know, it's like I can't buy everything online because I can't trust it. Like, especially now, like now that I live closer to stores here in Utah, like it's easier for me to get up and go to the store, even though there's a lot of slim pickings. It's like at least like I know whatever I get there, I'll get, and like I don't have to fight anyone for it. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's the other thing too, is like we're just so used to like convenience. Like since so many malls have like closed down or in the process or whatever, there's like, you know, some that there's not that many left. So sometimes you may have to drive like half an hour to the closest mall just to go there. And it's like, well, why would I make like an hour round trip when I can just order this online? Like, you know, that's part of it too. So
yeah, and some of it's convenient for sure, but sometimes, in my humble ass opinion, I feel like it's okay to go to the mall. And it's beneficial to go to the mall or to a store or to physically go get something, because especially if it's something that I really want and want to make sure it's like right. Like, I wouldn't order like a dishwasher online. I would go to a store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I know I got to get a new sink for this bathroom because it's destroyed. Like, I'm going to a store to get I'm not ordering that shit online. Plus with makeup too, I feel like is like, if I need like a new foundation, like, I go into the store to make sure it's the right shade, because I'm not paying, you know, especially foundation now being $30+. Like, I'm not spending all that money for something that's too dark or makes me look like, you know, I'm dead.
Right. But it's convenient when you go to reorder it if you like it and you just want to get it again in the same shade. Then you do it online, because it's like, I know this looks good on me. I don't have to go to the store and look. Like, that's the beneficial part of like internet shopping. But it's like, when you're trying to get something for the first time and you really need to see it, like, it's better to just go to a store and just battle like whoever you have to battle to get it. Like, you know, it's not even much of a fight anymore. Like, even on Black Friday, it wasn't like people were like battling to get stuff in the stores or whatever, you know?
Mostly everyone just went on Amazon and Target and fucking, you know, like, they went online. And like, you know, perfect example of that is that, like you said, like, if you find something you like, you just reorder online. So I did that. I had to get a new mascara. My old mascara was giving me styes. I'm like, all right, I got to get rid of this shit and get a new mascara.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll just get it through Amazon because it'll come quick. And I already know it's just going to be the same thing. It's like right through the company, blah, blah, blah. Well, it got delivered, but it got delivered to the wrong house. It was like one of my neighbor's houses. But by the time I realized that and went out to go grab it, package was gone. I asked my neighbors. They didn't even see the package. They weren't home when it got delivered. So somebody fucking stole it because it was in a location where it was just easy just to grab. So gone, you know, lesson learned. I'm just going to go into the store and get a mascara. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, or I'll go directly like through Ulta, you know, and have my mailman that actually like, you know, brings my packages to the correct fucking address to, you know, have it delivered here. But like, you know, like sometimes, yeah, like you can't like just do everything online. Like sometimes you have to go into a store, you know. And
what boggles? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, definitely the other part of mall culture, I'll say, like the going there to hang out and stuff, is long dead.
Yeah, you know? It's now people realize how dangerous it is too, and like people just don't do it. It's like, why would I go to a mall when I can sit in my room and just have everything there and I don't have to talk to anyone or be outside, you know?
Well, right, you know, and
it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Like, it's almost like all these things that were like meant to like bring us together are like fizzling out now. And it's like, we have never been more like isolated, you know, and not even just because, you know, of technology and stuff like that, because of COVID, like making everybody fearful of each other. Still, it's been 3 fucking years.
I know, like, we're past the point of needing to isolate. Like, you do it when you get sick now. Like, otherwise, it's like, you know, you don't need to anymore. You can go see people again if you're just as long as you're healthy and the people you're seeing are healthy. Like, just be careful, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But, like, people don't want to do that anymore. Like, now people are just so used to being by themselves. They're just like, nope, I'm not leaving my house. And it's like, that's sad, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's just crazy to me how just I think about like 10 years ago, even like how you and I were always going out, always like with people doing things, you know, doing stuff, just like, you know, very much more social, and how antisocial we've all collectively become, you know, like, you know, people still go out to dinner. They maybe will go see a movie. They'll go to an amusement park. You know, there's still stuff that people go out and do. And like, you know, especially if you like hiking or, you know, doing stuff like outdoorsy shit. Like that's one
Yeah,
thing.
which
But like
in Utah, there's tons to do outside. Tons.
Yeah. But like, it's crazy to me how like there used to just be this whole like subculture of people who were mall rats, you know, and how like even just like the movie Mall Rats is just like a defunct concept. And even with Clerks too, video stores and being a defunct concept now. It's like,
I know.
it's
That's
crazy.
so good. And people enjoy the experience of going into video rental stores, not even just for movies, but for video games and stuff too. And like smelling that fucking like rental box that the VHS came in. You know, that plasticky ass smell. You know that smell. Everyone knows that smell.
You know, and you'd walk in, it smelled like a lame movie theater. It was like popcorn, but not really. Like, you know what I mean? Like it
was like the essence of popcorn. It wasn't actually popcorn.
Yeah, it was just crazy to me how like there are some kids who don't even know what Blockbuster was now.
I know.
Like,
there's kids who don't even know what Invader Zim is now, and that's depressing.
I mean, you know, we love to sing the Doom song around here.
Yes, we do.
But, you know, I don't know. That's why I love, like, Dan Bell's series so much, because not only does it, like, bring us back to that time, but it also, like, you know, it's just a reminder that it existed, you know?
Yeah, he's preserving memories for people. And if you go into the comments on those videos and stuff, you'll see people who come and being like, I remember going here in 85 when I was blah, blah, blah. Like, people use those videos to reminisce about their childhood and, like, share memories with people that they used to go to the mall with who are no longer here. And, like, it's like a time capsule. And
yeah,
I really like... That's so underappreciated. It's not even funny because you get so many, and this Dan always talks about this too, and I completely agree with him. Like all these knockoff YouTube channels of like people copying his shit, going to the places he's gone to. He doesn't want to go to places that people have gone to already, you know?
Right.
He wants to be completely unique in his own way, which I totally understand. And like people copy him with the style, with the vaporwave and the, you know, going to the same malls and the same, like, it's already been done once. Why do we need 15,000 other perspectives of it? Because we don't, you know?
I mean, honestly.
It's just like these people who think they're so deep and like whatever. And
unless they're offering something that Dan isn't doing, you know? Like if they were going to have like commentary or they have like a memory tied to that mall or something, I guess then at that point it would be more interesting. But if you're just literally... Yeah, like just doing exactly what he did, like there is no point. But I remember on one of his videos, there was a comment that really like resonated with me. And it was the top comment and it said, YouTube is literally the ultimate time machine.
It's so true.
It's true. Like
you can find everything on YouTube now. That commercial you remembered from 1995 for Reese's Puffs, it's on there. Someone uploaded that damn commercial.
Yeah,
you know,
that weird cartoon that you used to love that was only on for like 6 episodes. Somebody uploaded it, you know?
Yeah, like, that old movie that you thought you had a fever dream of, but it was a real movie. Someone's talking about it. I literally just watched a video today, like hours ago, of, do you remember that Disney Channel original movie called Don't Look Under the Bed?
Yep.
With the boogeyman? Apparently they banned it from Disney in 2006. And
why?
You could only watch it on Disney Plus because it was too scary.
Okay. It was not scary at all, but...
Well, the boogeyman was, you know, I could see why kids would be afraid of him, but, like, it wasn't really that scary to me, I guess, but...
We watched it all the time. We never had any issues, and you and I were very skittish children.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a really cool movie, but... Yeah, it's like people were commenting on this video I watched of a girl talking about it, and we're just like, I literally thought I dreamt about this movie, and like no one else knew what I was talking about because it's been like 17 years since they took it off the air. I had to do some quick math, and you know, people were just like, I remember seeing it one time as a kid, and I just thought it was like, you know, misremembering something, but no, this was a real movie. Like people had no idea. It's amazing what YouTube can do, and like the fact that people preserve these things. And we have got to get into like lost media at some point on here. Not even just for TV and movies and stuff, but like everything. Like, it is one of the most interesting things I've ever seen in my life. And people are starting to find a lot of it now, which is even crazier, you know?
Oh, there is nothing more cathartic to me than finding something you thought was just erased from existence. Like,
yes, and
remember,
you thought up in your mind and didn't actually exist, but it does, and you're not crazy.
Like, remember when we found the video of us at Fun World, which is like this little like Chuck E. Cheese type place that we'd go to as kids? And I'm like, there's like nothing about it online. Same thing with Scooters here in Bristol. Like, people that have lived in Bristol.
Scooters wasn't open very long, so I get that. But Fun World was open for a while.
Yeah, and like if you're from Bristol, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. But we found a video of us at Fun World, and I'm like, holy shit.
Because we had our third birthday there, you know, and you know, my mom took video of us there on the rides and stuff.
Yeah, so like, and now I got to figure out how to preserve all of these and get them converted digitally, because honestly, like, I would upload that in, you know, to my own YouTube channel and just be like, hey, look, like, anyone that remembers Fun World in Southington, Connecticut, like, here it is. Like, you know, it's just, it's crazy to me how there's...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would say the other thing, and I'm so glad my mom filmed a lot of this stuff, is when we went to Universal Studios when we were 8 years old, and we did the Slime Time Live, like, Guts thing or whatever, in the Nickelodeon studio tour there, which that whole studio is, like, gone now. It's a Blue Man Group thing. And...
I hated the Blue Man Group. Quick side tangent. Who the fuck likes the Blue Man Group? They are literally the worst. I was forced, when I went to Boston, I competed with the choir because I was a nerd. We got free tickets to a Blue Man Group show. I was like, okay, cool. Can I just tell you, that is the stupidest fucking performance I have ever seen. It makes no sense. They don't say anything. They just throw a bunch of paint around and bang on shit and fucking... It's like some weird avant-garde fucking art piece. And it's like, why? Who in the fuck enjoys the Blue Man Group? Please, if you enjoy the Blue Man Group, please comment below, because I want to make fun of you. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually going to.
We're not going to make fun of you, but we will judge you just a little bit.
No, I'll judge you a lot. Like this much. Like, I know you can't see, but it's like this much. So,
that's a lot of much.
Yeah, no, I fucking hated the Blue Man Group. I'm sorry. Yeah. Side tangent over. Please continue.
I don't remember what I was saying now.
I know, I'm sorry. I don't even remember what we were saying.
Just like how YouTube just like preserves a whole bunch of like media and stuff. So it's like, it's so great that it does that, you know?
Yeah, it does, you know, and like it's just nice to have stuff to like look back on and reflect on, because like I said, even just like with the mall thing, like that was a big part of our lives, you know?
Right.
And it's just crazy how it's just like obsolete now, basically. And it's, I don't know. Like, that's why I love dance videos too, because like now we have like reminders of like what once was, and we don't have to like personify them like through Stranger Things and like TV shows and stuff. Because I know with Stranger Things, like the mall was like a thing.
Yeah, the Starcourt Mall, that was like a big part of the third season. They like built this giant mall in a small town, but it takes place in like the 80s, so that was like a thing then. So they're culturally just keeping up at the times of the show.
Yeah,
which I get.
I don't know why they didn't just use one of these dead malls to just like, you know,
I know.
Bring back
I don't know
life.
What they actually use. I'll have to look into that, but
just save a bunch of money.
I think it was abandoned though. I'm pretty sure. So
I was gonna say, save money. It's already a fucking mall that you can just use.
That's what I'm saying. Just like, you know, fix the lights and shit, I guess. But
yeah, but
anyway, to wrap this up.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to do the lost media thing too, by the way. Like,
yeah, I cannot wait. That's going to be multiple episodes because there is so much lost media out there. It's crazy. So.
And by lost media, we mean like stuff that was just like, you know, was maybe aired, but then quickly taken off and then never seen from again, or never even saw the light of day, like movies, TV shows, like, things like
or
that.
Stuff that
YouTube.
just wasn't preserved. Like, I know the BBC did that with a lot of their stuff. So a lot of old shows from the BBC in like the UK,
Yeah.
it just doesn't exist anymore because all their shit is gone, you know?
Yeah, and like they did that with a lot of Tom and Jerry episodes too. Like they won't air them or cut them out and stuff because of racism and things like that. So
yeah, old cartoons definitely. Like that's when they would talk about World War II and there's Hitler in them and Donald Duck like Sieg Heiling or whatever, and it's just like yikes.
Yeah. But like I also argue that like that was, you know, acceptable at the time. Like I don't think it's fair to like, you know, deprive people of like, you know, old episodes and things like that just because they're culturally outdated.
Yeah, because it's like erasing history, basically. It's like a time capsule. Like, yes, we don't believe that now, but getting rid of it is saying that it never happened and then we don't move forward from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't help, you know? Like,
yeah,
avoidance won't do any good. So,
yes.
yeah. So we're definitely going to do the lost media one. And thank you for letting us talk about malls because, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't realize like how much like, especially for, you know, someone like me or Lauren, like how much it like impacted you, like, you know, or was like a big part of your life until like, you know, you step back and really look and you're like, wow, like we were there all the time. You know?
And it's more than just stores. It's the place itself holds memories, you know, like malls themselves are memory holders. And it's like when those start to go, it's like erasing a time that you used to, you know, remember so fondly. You know, it's kind of like when you can't find old home movies because they've been destroyed, kind of a thing.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. We felt it was important to talk about because not only just because I love this series, like that Dan Bell does, but because I don't know. It's just like one of those things culturally, you know, like we'd said before, like with bookstores being defunct and other kinds of places like no longer being, you know, popular because of technology. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, a movie theater is one thing, but like a mall is like a huge building. It's like its own zip code in some places.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of malls are getting taken down now for housing, and which is really sad.
Yeah, it's sad. And like, you know, just think about these just large fucking places that like just don't house anyone or anything now. It's like, it's insane to think about, you know? Like, I don't know. Abandoned places in general are just, you know, insane to think about. Like, wow, someone used to like be here or live here, or, you know, there used to be life in this place and now it's just eerily quiet. They're like giant concrete corpses that exist, you know?
I was just going to say something similar to that. It's like the concrete corpse, like you said it best, you know? It's
like the life is gone, but the shell is still there. It's like, it's a weird thing. I think that's why too, like it kind of freaks us out, and like why liminal spaces in general are like kind of scary, because it is kind of eerily similar to like looking at like, you know, someone that's dead. Like, you know, like there used to be life there and now there isn't, but you could still see everything. And it's like, I don't know, that might be a little dramatic, but like that's kind of how I see things. Just like, you know, it's just weird that they still exist in that capacity, you know? So, and not all of them are dead, obviously. Like, you know, like the West Farms Mall that's still here, it's still thriving, you know? And but it's not what it used to be. It used to be like a conventional mall. Now it's just like a place for like really upscale stores and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like,
yeah, it's not the same. It doesn't have the same life as it used to.
Yeah. And I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, whatever. So, but yeah, thank you for letting us talk about that.
Yes, this was a fun episode. So again, let us know if you like these more structured, like topic-focused episodes, or do you like the ones where we just kind of say what we want, like, and you just let us do whatever, like, whatever, you know, you think, let us know, and we'll kind of shape it around that.
Yeah, because we I mean, we love both, like doing both. But
Mhm.
if you rather see more of one than the other, like let us know. Like,
Yeah.
because we're fine with doing whatever. So,
Yes.
like, I love these episodes personally because we're talking about stuff that we actually like are passionate about and that we like. And like, you know, Lauren.
I'm sorry, it's the end. You can't yell at me.
But like, I don't know. I love talking about stuff like this. And, you know, we have so many other episodes too where we look back on like very nostalgic parts of like our youth and just from like, you know,
Mhm.
an era that a lot of people deeply resonate with. Like,
Right.
you know, not even just 90s kids, but, you know, people that existed in the 90s in general and 80s and whatever. And like, I don't know. This is just another like facet of that to me. It's
Right.
I don't know. I really love this stuff. So
Me too.
thank you for letting us talk about that. We need a song from Lauren. Lauren, what is your song?
I'm going to put in a song from a band called Thy Will Be Done because today I just saw that they're starting to do shows again since before the pandemic. And they're from New England, so of course I can't go see them, and they're very good friends of ours. And it made like seeing their post just made me miss them, so I wanted to put in a song. That's
Aw.
all. There's like no
Yeah.
significance other than that. It's like I miss those dudes so much. Like I wish
I
they would come
know.
to the West Coast because I'd be like, listen, I know where you can play. You could stay at my house. I don't care, you know?
I know they are really good friends of ours, and we've seen them a bunch of times before, and
Yeah.
they're great dudes. And I know I looked at the dates. I'm gonna be busy when they're gonna be playing. Otherwise, like I would go. But yeah, no, they're fucking great. I'm surprised we haven't put them in the podcast sooner.
I could have swore I did like one other time, but like maybe I didn't.
I don't think so. Maybe. Actually, I have no idea.
I don't know either. I can't even remember yesterday. So like I literally have no idea.
Yeah. But we're gonna put in Thy Will Be Done for you.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we're gonna I don't know. Not next week, next episode. It might not be next week. It might be a couple weeks because the holidays are fast approaching. So
yeah, we just had Thanksgiving, so that's why this is going up later than we want. And then Christmas is coming up in a few weeks. But after Christmas, it should be a little more regular with our episodes. So
yeah, which I'm excited about. So but yeah, the next one, I don't know what we're going to do yet or what we're going to talk about. We're just going to kind of go with shit for now and see how things unfold.
We're going to talk about what we want to talk about. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. If there's something in particular that you would like us to talk about, you can email us at the geminiarchives@gmail.com. Still not a single email, so please email us just so we can say we got use out of it at least one time.
Seriously.
Could you imagine like tomorrow you'll get an email? Like,
oh my gosh, I'd scream. I'd be like, Megan, it happened.
So hopefully, but anyway, we're going to put in That Will Be Done. We're going to end it here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. And we will see you next time.
Yes, we'll see you next time. We hope you enjoyed. Oh, good. I'm glad as soon as we're ending the episode, now there's noise outside my window. So
great.
We're ending this here. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Neck